Hi, it's Lynn from lynnboutier.com. I'm a certified trauma recovery coach and hypnotherapist, and I'd like to just speak to you for a moment about future faking. Future faking is something that most of us recognize has to do with being in some sort of relationship with a highly narcissistic person. People who are moderately or minimally narcissistic would most definitely future fake, but we associate it most of the time. Like, first thing that comes to mind for a lot of us about future faking is that it would have to be something that involves like really tricking somebody badly about the future, somebody like a couple that wants to have a baby, but she's not letting him know that she's still on birth control. She's keeping it secret, and she's letting him think that there's going to be a baby in the future, and they're both super excited about planning for this baby. But she knows it's not going to happen because she's controlling the situation secretly, pulling strings behind his back without his knowledge. That is a really, really miserable example of future faking, but that is future faking, okay? But what a lot of us don't recognize is that future faking, most of the future faking that a narc does with us, is going to come in small increments and small incidents. So they're going to look something much more commonly like this. If you're on a road trip and you need to use a restroom and you say, that sign just said that it's 4 miles until the next stop. Could we please stop at that one? And they say, yes, of course, absolutely. And you're saying like a quarter mile before the exit, please don't forget, we're pulling off here because I need to use, the restroom. And they say, okay, you got it, you betcha. And they just go sailing right past it. And when you say, excuse me, you just agreed to stop there. And you might be in a little bit in disbelief. Like, you might not be saying it really harshly, but just kind of stunned, disbelief, and going, but you just told me that you would pull the car in there and we would stop. And they say, oh, did I? And they don't want to talk about it. They don't want to do anything about it. They want you to pretend, because they're gaslighting you now, that it didn't happen. And all future faking is a form of gaslighting in the first place. It just is. But because it's your reality not matching up with what's being said. And they are being the author of your reality. But future faking is a form of gaslighting somebody. So when we look at future faking, it can look like, is it possible if we could get a dog when we move to the new house? And they say, oh, yes, yes, yes. What kind? And you spend hours looking at pictures online of different breeds of dogs. And then once you've been settled in that house for 3, 4, 5, 6 months, and where's the dog? And they're like, oh, yeah, that's not happening.